Alright, welcome to another Ghost Simulator update video. In today's video, we'll be going over the latest update to Ghost Simulator, update 1.157. This brings with it the anniversary event in Ghost Simulator, as it's to the day when the update came out, Ghost Simulator's 5th anniversary. But because it is Ghost Simulator's 5th anniversary, the anniversary event for the game is back. This follows a very similar trend to the last few years, where it brings back some crates over here in the main hub, along with an event area over here down in the anniversary room. Start off with the anniversary update, mainly rewards people for their current progression in the game. Starting off with, you have different crates over here that you get for reaching certain progression points. You have a prize for reaching Intel of 1, which everyone obviously gets, since everyone starts at Intel level 1. You also have rebirth levels 1, 5, and 10. The rewards for these are pretty cool. Level 1, everyone will get this, is a sparkler. Level 5 is 10 ghostly loot gun, which should help people that are at Intel level 5. Until level 30, or until level 10 is a cool little pet. This will definitely help people progress a little bit. And then the rest of them are going to be boards or other stuff that are a little bit more useful for the end game. Until level 20 is 5 crate keys, maybe not the best reward. 30 is a gift box, which is a pretty cool board. Rebirth level 1, 10 event bait. Rebirth level 5 is a ghost loot bag. That is pretty cool if you guys care about those. I don't know how many people do, since it is just kind of a promo item. And until level 30 is Star Dreamer, which is a godly board, which some people think looks cool. Obviously, all these are cosmetics. A lot of people will have them. They aren't tradable at the moment. They might be after the event. But for the most part, they are just going to be chilling there. So if you guys log on anytime during this event for the next 2 weeks or so, you'll be able to claim these. Thing up is the actual game show part of the event. This is an NPC along with some Ghost Sim trivia that has a board reward at the end of the request line. This is a pretty standard part of events from for anniversary going backwards, so not anything super new. Start off with the hint for the finding the key, which is generally the hard part of the thing, or supposed to, is a bit easier. An easy spot is to found near the clue. So some people struggle with it. I mean, obviously, no matter where you put it, someone's not going to be able to find it. Like, even if you put it, like, I don't know, right behind the note itself, there's still going to be someone asking where in the world it's found. I mean, yeah. The thing is, though, the room for it, this one's one that's a little bit more annoying, since probably shouldn't be. Probably should have been an error or something for the actual event itself. It's a bit more hidden. But over here, down between the connection between Forest and Block City, there's a room highlighted with a glowing keyhole. You can go ahead and, once you have that key, open this area up. Anyways, once you go ahead and open that door, you can drop down into a area with the actual quest. This quest is very similar to what it is in previous years, with it being start off with a little bit of quest. One thing to note, Dark Thunder actually made it a little bit cool camera angle, so it's a little bit different than before. Makes it feel a little bit more like the TV game show it's supposed to more or less represent. But overall, it's a pretty easy quest. As you guys can see from this first quest, it's not anything super difficult. 28 ghosts, even if you have 0 vacuum stats, can be grabbed from pretty much anywhere, or actually can be grabbed from anywhere. So you can go ahead and grab those. And then, obviously, picking up items and or burning items, pretty self-explanatory parts of the quest. Anyways, once you are done with the first part of that quest, you obviously can then move on to the second part, which is where we get into the new stuff for this year. That is a little bit more interesting than usual, or maybe not more interesting than usual, but more interesting than other quests, where you have to go ahead and complete this quiz. This quiz can only be started once you get to quest number 2 of Da-vid, and can be done by just clicking to start on this little screen over here, at which point you start into some Ghost Simulator trivia, where I'll ask you some questions. This first question we got was, how much health does the living rock ghost have? Obviously, since I wrote all these questions, I should know what the answer to all of them are. The actual order of them is randomized, so even though I am just clicking this one over and over again, they do appear in different spots. You guys can't just cheese it all like that. But some of the questions are a little bit different than others. If you've played more, you will know the answer to more of these questions. If not, it isn't too hard to go ahead and guess and check your way through this. One of the things is different than last year. You don't need 100% of the questions correct to go ahead and pass a quiz. Every time you go ahead and get a quiz wrong, you'll actually decrease the amount of questions you need to answer correctly to complete it by 2. So if you go ahead and do the quiz 12 times, you are guaranteed to win. Since on question 13, there's a guaranteed 1 question correct. But yeah, it should be pretty fun. Hopefully people are enjoying the trivia. I probably could have done some more trivia, but I do know that in previous years, people that didn't know were as knowledgeable about the game struggled quite a bit more to get 100% on the trivias, and it kind of got repetitive after answering questions wrong the second or third time. So I simplified it into 1 quiz instead of 3. Hopefully that's a good change. The rewards for this are pretty cool. For instance, here you can already see that there is a gum loot bag that we can go ahead and get once we get done with this quest, and then once we are done with the next quest after this one, we also have the ability to go ahead and get a cool board. Along with this, there is a completion item trophy similar to what we had in previous years, where you get to go ahead and keep a cool item. Obviously, items don't do much, especially when they aren't tradable, but it is still something that some people might like about the event. Anyways, when you go ahead and complete it, you do get, as I said, the completion item. This is a mythical item that, I mean, who's going to really care? It's not tradable, as I said. It mainly serves to go ahead and complete the quest, which once you go ahead and complete it, you can go ahead and get a gum loot bag. I don't need to explain gum loot bags, you guys know what they are. Anyways, the last reward is this one. It is a cool board, and it is pretty easy once you go ahead and get that. Overall, not too much for the anniversary event. I do know that sometimes people are kind of underwhelmed by the amount of update that comes with events. But with this event, or with this update, a few other things were actually added other than just the anniversary event to go similar. One of the big ones is that there's currently an ongoing double gems event, which should hopefully allow people to grind a bit more gems. And on top of that, there's been actually a huge rework to the back end, specifically with how gem rates are working and how buffs are handled in the game. That also brought with it a bunch of buffs to ways to get gems. One of the biggest ones is a major buff to all the gem drops in all areas. Other than Main Hub, Main Hub was already buffed in its respective update. But along with this, there's been a rework to the gem chests in bonus biomes. So now when you go ahead and open a gem chest, any of the gem chests, including the one from Remnant Zone that gives a base of 50 million gems, it'll go ahead and stack with the gem multipliers that you have. So usually this one gives a few hundred, now because of or maybe a few thousand, I don't know exactly. But now gem chests should give quite a bit more gems, since all the gem multipliers you have, like double gems from the event, double gems from the Game Pass, double gems from Gum 2, and whatever you have from your Rebirth perks will apply to this chest. This can be actually really useful if you have a Rift Gum. You can actually go ahead and use the Rift Gum on the chest in Remnant Zone, and actually get quite a few billion gems for pretty easily, for only the cost of a Rift Gum. Along with this, some loot bags, specifically Spade's Harbinger loot bags and the Remnant Ghostly Vision loot bags, will actually have their gem amounts that they dropped increased, and their scaling with Gum fixed, so that they no longer have a nerf scaling effect. This means that specifically Spade's Harbinger is now the best bag to use with Rift Gum. That will allow you to go ahead and get quite a few gems if you go ahead and use around 400 of it with a single Rift Gum. On top of that, there has been one small change also to the items in Ghost Simulator. Now when you go ahead and use items, there's actually going to be a longer delay between when you can go ahead and use another item. For instance, if I was going to go unbox my bronze loot bags, which I've been playing around and testing with, so my amount is kind of low. But you can see that I can no longer just spam open them. Or maybe I can. But you'll be able to open them quite a bit more quickly than you were or you'll be able to open them a lot slower than you were before. But on top of this, you can now go ahead and auto use items. So if you go ahead and hold down, click, it'll go ahead and auto use items on a cent interval, which should hopefully make it a little bit more fair for people using items. Obviously, this is helpful if you're getting more than 1 frame per second on Ghost Simulator, because, you know, client lag is an issue. I'm literally in a Texas server too. But yeah, that is most of the changes that were balanced in this update. I think a few other small changes were done, like a few fixes to the journal, and a few other things perchance. But yeah, that was this update. If you guys like this, let me know. If you guys have other comments or things that you think could have been better in this update, let me know in the comment section. I do read those. Hopefully the changes, one of the things about this is that this is a beta preview of stuff like the backend, so a lot of more stuff's going to be migrated to the new buff system, which is very important to me. I know none of you guys will ever see the work that's going into that, but it's actually stuff that I do enjoy doing. But it does mean that it's going to be a lot of work for very little that you guys see, which is one of the things that I'm kind of worried about when going into this. But yeah, I hope people do like the new auto use feature. I do know that when it was being tested, there are people that are saying stuff like they don't like how slow it is. I hope as people get used to it, that it discovers that people are fine with it. My thought process is that it takes a few minutes to go ahead and get 1 or 2 up to maybe 10 loot bags. It will only take a couple seconds to open that many loot bags, so people are still spending more time to gain the loot bags than they are to use it, so it's not too big of a deal. But if it's too big of a deal in the future, I can actually fairly easily modify stuff like that. The one issue with that is the gem amount has to get nerfed then, because I kind of want it to be balanced so that it isn't store 3,000 loot bags in 1 rift gum, because that kind of devalues the use of rift gum. If you need 3,000 loot bags in 1 rift gum, you're now, yeah, it bounced weird. Anyways, thank you guys for watching today's update video. I know this one was a little bit of a ranty one. I might be a little bit tired from not sleeping well last night, as you guys can probably tell from this session, going way off the rails. So hopefully I will see you guys on Monday for a hard mode stream. I plan on going into endgame on that. Endgame, as in getting as close to 100% game completion as I can, since I should have all the quests completed by the end of that episode, since there's no way with these current boosted gem drops that I'm failing to get enough gems, because it's pretty ridiculous. Anyways, see you then. Bye. Comment, like, subscribe. I don't know. I'm way too tired, I think, from this video. Hopefully I edit this out in post.